So here we go then, Christoph Zakar of Hungary against Wang Shibo of China, who was very impressive in the previous round in knocking out the 4th seed Marc Duran of Spain. Let's get up to our commentators, Colin Wilson, and a special guest.
Indeed, we have someone here, a very, very famous face, or will be voice while we're in the commentary box. But we have here Gavin Rumgay, unfortunately knocked out by the smallest of margins yesterday. Gavin, how did yesterday go for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big challenge coming back to the exciting Alexandra Palace. Managed to battle my way through the group stage, winning on a sudden death ball, which was quite exciting. But then just didn't really perform on table 1 in my last 32 match.
And that's unusual for you. You've had a good run over a number of years. So disappointed not to be here playing in the last 16 today. But is there a way that the Hungarian can overtake the Chinese player in this match?
Yeah, the Hungarian was in my group. I think it was Group F. Looked very solid on both wings. Had a good weight of shot on both forehand and backhand. So it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain that.
Thanks, Gavin. Let's see. So the bearded Hungarian, Christoph Zakar. Every game that he's played so far, he's won, but he's won it in the third game. So it is possible to take games from this guy. But Tony, you were very impressed with him as well.
Yeah, I think he's a great player. You can see by his results there. He beat Adam Bratt, who gave Andrew Bagley such a tough game yesterday. So, yeah, he's a decent player. I was watching him. He likes to sit just off the table and hit it hard, Gavin.
Yeah, he's got a good timing for the ball. He doesn't take it too early.
Yeah, happy to let the ball drop a little bit, topspin it up. He gets quite a lot of topspin given that they're playing with the sandpaper blue bat.
Love 3.
Yeah, he does tend to prefer that backhand as well. So, if I was the Chinese player, I'd be trying to target the ball a little bit more into his body, try and move him out of position a little bit, and then attack strong to a wing.
Yeah, and important for the Hungarian, obviously, to play with his odd shoes as well. That must give him a great tactical advantage, eh? Anything in that, guys, or is that just for show?
I honestly don't know, but unfortunately for him, it's not doing him a lot of good at the moment. Looks snazzy, but it could be that he's perhaps got a foot issue that needs a different trainer for. I don't know.
They do look like completely different makes to me. So maybe he's done this on purpose. Maybe he's worn out another one.
Wang 7-1.
We know that Ian Johnston, in training with you, Tony, wore out 2 pairs of shoes completely in 6 weeks. Gavin, it's expensive in shoes this game.
8-1.
Was that doing a lot of multi-ball then, was it?
Yeah, it was. It was early on when we were trying to speed up his recovery. We hammered the multi-ball and he wore right through the sole from top to bottom twice in 6 weeks.
You're a slave driver, Tony.
2-8.
You have to be a little bit. So, Gavin, how long were you training before this competition with the blue bat? Very much, or was it just a couple of weeks?
Less than that, 5 days, unfortunately, because I had the World Tour in Hungary.
You've got to keep switching back to the high-friction rubber bat.
Yeah, usually I would try and fit in 4 or 5 weeks before it. Which,
Wang 8-4.
I still felt I was playing quite well coming into it, but I think under pressure you can then see, the lack of practice.
Yeah, I guess that's where it shows. But still, you won one game very, very close, 15-14. So it's still there, mate.
9-4.
And we'll see you, no doubt, next year come back stronger. But here we got Wang from China, Wang Shibo, 34-year-old. The Hungarian's 26 years of age, so he's giving away an 8-year advantage to the European player.
Zakar 5-9.
And of all the Chinese players that we've seen so far, quite interesting that Wang Shibo played in the Asian qualifier. And he won the whole event. So, of all the people that have qualified from China, Yan, of course, not having to qualify as champion, but he should be the best of the rest.
9-7.
Do you think he's as good as some of the players that we've seen so far yesterday and today from China?
He's not hitting with as much power, but he's quite accurate. And I think with these sandpaper rackets, if you can link well between serve and the first 2 shots, I think you stand a good chance to get right through to the semi-final.
Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, interesting as well. Zakar's really working his way back into this game, and what he seems to be doing, Gavin, is really pinning Wang on the backhand corner. So with that pen-hold style, he feels more comfortable going there. There's going to be less power coming at him.
What's been interesting so far throughout the tournament, I'm seeing a lot of the Chinese players now playing the ball even flatter. If someone hits a ball with a slight bit of topspin or slight bit of backspin, it's actually easier to control the ball. If the ball comes with that middle spin, almost no spin at you, that's when the ball kicks and deviates off your racket.
Yeah, so there's no additional energy in the ball from topspin or backspin. It means you've got to work the ball, maybe lift it a little bit more, makes it a bit tougher. Yep, so what we call the fast flat ball, the Chinese past masters at. Wang Shibo playing right-handed with the pen-hold style. Forehand serve from the backhand corner, traditional pendulum serve. Zakar happy to come across his middle to play his backhand, but he said that was his strength, and you can see it there. And his forehand's not bad either. What a fantastic rally. Great stuff. Absolutely wonderful play.
10-12.
Well played, Christoph Zakar. Backhands from the middle. Had to play the forehand there. Backhands again. And that's too much for Wang Shibo, the Chinese champion qualifier. Great stuff, but we do have a lead again for Wang.
10-13.
Christoph's done some well to get back into this match, but 13-10 down now. One more serve. That's a beautiful backhand, needed that one.
Wang 13-11.
Still moving well to the left and right as the Hungarian player. You can see that there, trying to stay low into the legs as he moves.
He moves beautifully, doesn't he?
He's very happy to sit away from the table a little bit. He covers ground really well, and he has very long strokes, doesn't he? Develops a little bit of a loop, so he gets the ball high over the net, comes back down, so he can hit that with quite high amount of power.
Well, the consistency into Wang Shibo, the pen holder's backhand, paying a little bit of dividends. 13 all. Next point will give a game point to one of the two players. So again, forehand serve from the backhand side. Will it be the pendulum side spin? Will he put some flat play or opposite side spin on? Yes, opposite side spin into the middle. No problem for Christoph Zakar. Oh, the ball nearly crept
12,
over.
14.
But that makes it 3 game points to Wang. But maybe he can pull it back, or in the second game, just get the measure of that, pulling it into the pen holder's backhand.
Wang,
so
15,
first game just
12.
fell away just slightly at the end. Gavin, do you think Zakar can get into this match?
Well, I think it was very interesting tactics from Wang. He was using that little left-handed side spin pen hold shot to encourage the ball to come back into that corner. I think that tells me that his wide forehand might actually be a bit weaker.
Might be, yeah, not so strong. He's a little bit older. He's quite a tall guy, but maybe there's a little hole very, very wide of the forehand. Tony, do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that Zakar has found that yet, tested it yet?
Well, Zakar's comfortable on the backhand, so I think he's quite happy to have backhand-to-backhand kind of rallies as well. So it's an interesting battle from that point of view. But I think it's right that a lot of pen holders get very used to people pinning them on the backhand and become very strong at hitting the forehand from that backhand corner. So if you can switch them out wide, it's often not as powerful coming back from there.
Yeah, I wonder whether Wang Shibo is actually choosing not to run round because he wants to be able to cover the switch to the forehand. Let's see if Wang is forced to run round more. That will open up the wide forehand. Zakar may feel that he doesn't even want to use it, and he's willing to trade the backhand-to-backhand rallies still. There certainly is. And it's Wang that played down the line. Oh, and that forehand across court with side spin off the, not just off the corner, but off the side of the table. Gavin, how do you do that?
Well, it's very good movement of the feet. Like when he chooses to pivot round, he's getting a huge amount of space, so then he can really unlock that shoulder and launch through the ball.
So Wang is running around the backhand to get his forehand, and he runs around quite a long way to make sure he's got a good length of stroke, so he's not tucked up when he plays his forehand. He commits to it. Zakar will now have to judge when to play to the forehand, and that was it. He got him off balance.
Yeah, really good variation there from Zakar. So switch from corner to corner. 1, 2, 3, all different corners. Really made Wang move around a lot.
Back to backhand to backhand again. Wang feeling like he's got to go round. Good crack.
Zakar,
Increased pace with that forehand. Zakar went down the line, but just off the side. Difference between winning and losing here is tiny. You've got to get it right. Perception, decision-making, and execution.
2-3.
You're spot on, and you see so many times if players at the first towel change after 6 points are leading 4-2 or 5-1, it's amazing how that just relaxes you into playing like in practice.
Very good.
Yeah, that's interesting, Gavin. We noticed that you always take your double point quite early in the game. It's like you really want to be the front runner for the game.
I mean, I see that in any sport, whether it's Roger Federer in the tennis, Ronnie O'Sullivan in the snooker. You know, it's so important. Once the top players get a little lead, relax into practice mode and they play much better.
Yeah, I think yesterday at one point you took the double point ball at something like 4-3 in the first game. Well, wonderful rally. You see the athleticism of the players, and Zakar there saw that Wang was going to run around and get his forehand in, chose to go wide of the forehand, got him off balance and on the run. Wonderful play from the Hungarian, gives him a slender, slender lead. That was clever from Wang, right into the crossover, into the playing elbow, so he doesn't know whether to play forehand or backhand and hasn't got time to get his body out of the way. It's a little cheapy there for Wang. He's done it again, and then opens up wide of the backhand, but couldn't quite execute.
And Tony, when you were playing at this, you know, high level 3 or 4 years ago, when you were playing this tournament, it was your backhand that was one of the strongest shots as well. So what's the secret to playing one of the bigger, more attacking backhands?
Yeah, personally for me, I always find that I have to hold the bat really, really lightly to try and absorb the power from these top players coming into the backhand, and then try and turn your wrist over really quickly, because you've got to lift it against that power, but you've also got to bring it back down before it flies off the end.
Thanks, guys. So Zakar coming across the forehand side to play his backhand, determined to get into a backhand to backhand when he wants to. So Zakar trying to dominate the choice of tactics, the way that the rally will play out. 7-5 and serving for the Hungarian. This has got to be his chance. I'd like some stats on the percentage of points that are being won on service, Gavin. Do you,
8-5.
I guess instinctively you feel it, you'd rather be serving than returning. You've got the choice of how the rally begins, but we don't actually know the stats. We're just kind of making this up about thinking that service is an advantage. We might be right, but it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, the more intelligent players out there that can handle the pressure, yeah. I mean, if you're winning a lot of the fast exchanges, then serving a really fast serve at the start of the rally encourages the point to go quicker. Sometimes you might want to win the point directly off one shot because you're a bit nervous. That's when you serve a little half-long serve. The opponent lifts it up, and you go from there.
And then attack that one. Zakar down the line into the forehand, very comprehensively done. But when it goes back to the backhand, Wang not only reached it with his backhand, but he managed to get around and play a forehand.
Yeah, good example here of Wang on the wide on the forehand, putting the forehand back into play. But as soon as he got to play the forehand on the backhand corner, the power came out, and he hits the winner.
8-9.
And I think Wang has found another level with the power of his forehand. And as Gavin was saying, it's a very, very flat forehand, difficult for Zakar to lift.
Double point ball from Zakar.
Wangs are still to come. The Chinese players tending to take it very late in the game. Well, if Zakar doesn't win the next few, it could be late in the game for him. Didn't convert it. A big oh from the crowd.
I wondered if Wang might take his straight away, but he hasn't. I think he's changed the ball back.
And Gavin, I was saying yesterday that I think that when you take the double point ball, you've got a plan for what to do after it as well. You've already thought through how you're going to follow it up, rather than it just being a one-off and then think again after the double pointer.
Yeah, I'll usually take it when, you know, possibly the point
before
the
Mr.
opponent
Wang
is just a little bit frustrated. They've just been serving. It's back to my serve. I've got 2 serves. I can maybe see them. There's a shake of the head or a look to their coach. I think, yeah, this is a good time to take it.
So you're taking it from body language as much as anything. Great stuff. And I think your record of double point ball winners is one of the highest.
8-13.
Could be, and probably Andrew Bagley as well. I mean, the amount of times that he wins close matches, and yeah, 12-13 all, he manages to turn those into his favour.
Yeah, beautiful backhands from Zakar. Oh, that forehand again, he's cracking it. But that one's off the end.
9-13.
Maybe gives Zakar a chance. Fast serve down the line.
Wang,
that worked.
13-10.
Well, after the last game, where the player came back from 14-8 a game and 14-8 down, I'm not discounting anyone's chances at 13-9 or 10.
Yeah, that was an incredible match. Can Zakar pull himself back into it? Well, 4 match points against him.
In my last match in the group stage, I was at 14-10, and suddenly I found it 14 all.
Yeah, but you won it. You gave him the same ball you gave him at 14-10, knowing that he didn't have the same confidence at 14 all, and you made it. So well done.
Game 15,
but also well done to Wang Shibo.
Wang wins.
He takes it. Zakar, very, very good attempt. Raised his game, played really well. But Wang Shibo, the #1 Chinese qualifier, 34 years of age from Zhuzhou, goes through.